What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be reacting to a Modern Warfare 3 video from Espresso. Espresso is one of my favorite Call of Duty creators. This is a video for 9 additional gameplay features that are supposed to come at launch. Now, Call of Duty has been probably for the last, 15 years or so, my favorite, or one of my favorite video games to play. Now, like most of the community, I feel like it hasn't been good, or it hasn't been at least great for the last like 5 to 6 since Black Ops 3. Whenever that was, like 2014, maybe 2015. That might have been the last time it was really good. That's the last one like I hard grinded, really enjoyed. Didn't feel like skill-based matchmaking was too much. Anyways, I am cautiously optimistic with this game coming out in a couple of weeks. Very excited to play the beta. I like it a lot, mainly because of all the Modern Warfare 2 maps that are coming back. Now, some people like that, some people don't, but I would say one of my number one complaints recently with the more recent games has been the lack of good maps. The maps have just been absolute shit, but the beta plays well, the guns play well, everything feels right, looks nice. Now, like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic because for the first month of every Call of Duty launch, I think it's the greatest game I've played in I don't know how long. But we'll see how long that lasts, so I'm actually curious to see what additional features are coming at launch, besides just the original Modern Warfare 2 maps and everything else I know. So we're going to hop right into this video, and I'm going to give you my initial thoughts as to, because I'm seeing this for the first time, just like, I don't know. If you follow me, you might have seen it before. But anyways, let's just hop right in.
So it's early access launch week, and while we're gearing up for the launch of campaign early access in a few days, today I want to take a little bit more time before we dive into a whole lot more official that's coming throughout this week and touch on what we're still waiting to see, but we'll see at the launch of Modern Warfare 3. We know about our standard additional maps, camos, leveling, progression, all that kind of stuff that we'll see alongside with like zombies and everything, but that's obviously stuff we didn't have in the beta. But when it comes to the fundamental features and gameplay items, what else are we still missing out on? Today I want to run down a bit of what you can fully expect to come for launch that we still haven't seen, so as we go along, drop your thoughts down below on what you're hoping to get your hands on with Modern Warfare 3, any feature you really want to see added or removed, whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it add-on insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, stay video with all things Modern Warfare 3. We've got so much up on deck here ahead of campaign early access this week, the full launch next, and so much more beyond that, so I'd love to have you in the community. We set a lofty goal of hitting 550,000 subscribers by launch, so if you guys would like to join us, I would love to have you. Finally, check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for the best blue light glasses on the market, where code Espresso can get you 10% off your entire order, but more on them a little later. For now, let's jump into these features still coming at launch for Modern Warfare 3 that we've yet to see. First, let's touch on some gameplay-oriented stuff, things that will actually be able to help you in-game and perhaps even affect how you end up creating classes, how you end up playing the game itself. Firstly, detailed stats are going to be coming here at launch. This is something that was seen in some of the gameplay trailers and some of the screenshots that we had for intel drops leading up to Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer reveal. Now, of course, that kind of stuff was not in the beta, but we did see it in those full images.
This is huge.
What will be the full launch of the game. So that's a massive win, in my opinion, for players. That is, in the era of gunsmith, something that I never understood, why you have this air quote in-depth weapon customization via weapon classes and all, but it's never really made much sense to me why we didn't end up having any sort of detailed stats, because we just have to rely on inaccurate stat bars. And
to be honest, same. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of attachments across like 70 plus guns, yet not including the fact that we're basically combining 2 games here. There's a whole new game worth of guns, worth of attachments, plus everything from Modern Warfare 2, and all those attachments, I believe, as far as I understand, are coming over to Modern Warfare 3 and are being playable. I don't know why they never had detailed stats. I mean, they had them before, but they didn't take them out. They took them out of the game over the last couple of years. I think it was Cold War that had them. I don't even want to say it because I don't remember if that's correct, but I believe Cold War had them. But it's true. Like, if you have an attachment out of the hundreds and hundreds of attachments, that there's like 7+ attachments for each weapon that do basically the same thing. They have the same pros, the same cons, but maybe to a different level, right? If something increases your damage rate or bullet velocity but hurts your ADS speed, and then something else does too, you can't necessarily tell which one's better because you have these bars that are like pictured on the screen right here, but you can't see them side by side. You have to kind of memorize, okay, that's green there, and then you can't really tell how far the drop off is when you scroll over. To have detailed concrete numbers is going to be such a huge feature. It's going to be so important. I'm actually very, very excited that that's a thing, because you basically have to look up classes nowadays to figure out what is good and what's not good, because there's just so much that goes into it. And if you don't take the time to actually hard field test every single attachment and weapon, how the hell are you supposed to know? Unless you're taking like screenshots of everything, comparing them side by side, building charts. Nobody has time for that shit. So concrete numbers, this is a great thing. If this was just the only feature, if there wasn't like 8 more, if this was the only feature, I'd be super happy about it.
More often than not, those are just arbitrary representations and at best vague estimations of how those weapons are being changed in those certain attributes. So having detailed statistics like we did in Cold War, like we did in Vanguard, it makes understanding your weapons so much easier. And that is a massive
Vanguard
win.
Too. I don't remember
that stuff is already in the game, hard-coded as is. The game has to figure it out. It's just a matter of actually showing it to the players, which, not coming to the defense of anybody, but I've heard over the years talking to developers that front-end UI, like that kind of stuff, is oftentimes the biggest pain in the behind. So I'm just happy we're going to finally be able to get that. Big win in my opinion. Next thing that will be there at launch that's a gameplay feature is weapon tuning.
I hate
a
weapon
very
tuning.
Divisive topic. Personally, I don't see the need for weapon tuning. The differences that we saw in how much attachments were changed was minimal at best. But I do think, though, with weapon tuning and detailed statistics, that it may be something that is more beneficial than what it was last year, where a lot.
He's right, though. If you can actually see the concrete numbers of, instead of just like vaguely sliding the tuning on the bar for all your attachments, okay, yeah, maybe you'll see some benefits with having actual concrete numbers. But I just think tuning is too much. I mean, like I said, there's already so many attachments. You can already put up to 5 on your gun, but there's like 10 available slots you have to pick and choose from, with hundreds of weapons in hundreds of attachments in every category across like 75 plus weapons. It's just, why do you need to tune them? It's just like, remember back in the day when it was super basic, you could put 1 attachment on your gun. If you used a perk, you could put 2 attachments. Like, what is this? Like, there's just too much stuff going on. It's like, keep it simple. Like, I like that there's a lot to grind for, but at the same time, it's like, keep it simple. What are you doing, Lexi? Oh, I'm getting comfortable. Anyways, let's get back in it.
A lot of it was just guesstimation, and that stat bar went out further.
They're just trying to do too much sometimes.
Didn't decrease as much. Maybe that's the pinpoint precise spot.
Like, I get it,
probably
but
actually find that out now with the details.
Less is more sometimes.
So that'll be something come launch you'll be able to play around with as well. An additional thing coming at launch in terms of maybe helping out your classes is a firing range. Now, this was previously leaked to be very similar to the last.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
We had the option to see the ability to go into the firing range at our COD Next build for the multiplayer reveal, but we couldn't actually go into it. So
I mean, it has a nice
first-person footage here of this
usage to it,
but it has been previously leaked to be very
I could care less if it's there. I mean, it's cool that it's there. Like, I'd rather have it than not have it, but like, I wouldn't be butthurt if it didn't, you know?
To the players, something like adding damage stats to where each shot lands on the test dummy, maybe a recoil location, something that allows
dude's asking for a lot.
How the dummies perform, whether that be moving back and forth, like as if they were in motion, whatever the case. There's a bunch of stuff you could add to it, but in a positive outlook, with Sledgehammer having added things in the past.
Okay. The damage numbers, that'd be cool. You know, like there was in the past, we could put like plates in them if you're trying to warm up for Warzone. You're basically just trying to test recoil patterns, especially when you're shooting at the long range one that he's currently shooting at. But if you want them to be moving around and shit, just go play against bots. I mean, like, what are we doing?
Based on community feedback, this is
like they have bots,
see them
so you can go play. Like, there's no need.
There at launch. Launch, all things considered, we know this game was built.
Like, he wants them to move and have damage counters. The only thing he doesn't want them to have is guns and to shoot back. It's like, you might as well just go play bots, dude.
About halftime, and based upon what we had in Modern Warfare 2, I'm okay with the base firing range now with the prospect of
I also get what he's saying.
As we go along, given that it's kind of an afterthought feature. As much as I really would like this, it is truly.
I'm totally okay with this feature being there, not being there, and if it is there, being as basic as possible. It doesn't need to be anything other than be like, hey, I just built this weapon. Let me test out these attachments and the recoil pattern and shit like that. That's really the only use for it, at least in my opinion. I don't need it to do anything else.
Obviously, I don't think the firing range should take precedence over netcode or movement animations and stuff like that. Obviously, that is something that you push back a little further. So fingers crossed we see some improvements, but a base firing range will be there at launch. The player...
That dude literally sat there just shooting the 3 dummies over and over again because he knew that he needed an allotted amount of time to talk about the firing range. I just think that's funny. Like, I just wonder, like, as he was sitting there, because I know he recorded the voiceover afterwards. Like, he gathered all this footage, then did that. But he was just sitting there shooting down range and was like, how long do I have to do this for? I'm just going to record, like, 5 minutes of it, talk over it, and just cut the rest. But imagine just sitting there going, shooting that for 5 minutes. And what was he thinking about while he was doing it? I don't know.
Health bar on the HUD is also something that should be coming at launch as well, whether that's for you and your individual operator in the lower left of your HUD, or something that is visible over top of an enemy as if an enemy health bar. That's something that a card was put on the Trello board that indicates that the feature in some regard is likely going to be there at launch. They stated it was investigating. The Trello board hasn't been publicly updated in a couple of days.
I could
so
do
it is
without
something that may be coming
health
for
bar.
launch, may still be investigated
Cold War
as launch
no,
happens, but it should in theory help with visibility if it is going to be applied as well to enemy players.
Okay, he makes a good point. If it's being applied to enemy players over their head, it makes them a little bit easier to see. Totally understand that. I'm all for that because the visibility was a little poor in the beta. My own health bar, I mean, I guess it'll provide some information as to how quick you actually regen, when you can rechow. But I mean, that was in Black Ops 4, and I don't know if it was in any other game.
Alongside that,
I could care
so
less.
That'll be something that's definitely nice for visibility. Now, mode-oriented stuff coming at launch. We're gonna have, of course, hardcore mode. Yes. This is going to be there from
big
day
hardcore
one,
guy,
and it's not going to be a weird combination like Tier 1 was, where you have regular.
Tier 1 was absolute bullshit. They told us at launch. Oh, no. It wasn't even at launch. They didn't have it at launch. They said Season 1. So they made us wait like a whole, I don't know if it was like a month or a little bit more than a month for Season 1 to drop. And with Season 1, they said was hardcore. But it wasn't hardcore. It was our new take on hardcore, which was Tier 1, which the only thing that was hardcore about it was the headshots, no HUD. But it's like, it was even like less of a HUD. Like in hardcore, you don't have a HUD, but you at least have like hit markers and XP shows up when you kill somebody. There was none of that. It was just, you just had to hope that you hit them. You had to listen to the sound, like the death sound. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known. It was absolute bullshit. The fact that they marketed it as hardcore is dumb. Absolutely dumb. And it's bullshit. Whatever. At least this one will have it. I love hardcore. It's good for gun grinding. It's good for camos. It's good for the soul. We need hardcore. None of this Tier 1 bullshit.
Damage multipliers.
Also,
multiplier is crazy.
Can we give a little love to hardcore mode this year?
But it's gonna be great for weapon level.
Like, so see how you have this haunting 24/7 playlist? They don't put that in hardcore. Like your shipment 24/7, they hardly put that in hardcore. I think all these extra playlists should also be included in hardcore. Whether a bunch of people play it or not, it shouldn't be the problem. I don't know if it's a pain in the ass to do. I just feel like you just remove the HUD and lower their health. I think it's probably already coded into the game. The fuck do I know? But that's just how I feel. All right, that's just how I feel.
Camo grinding, nearly
Personally,
everything being
that's
1 to
just
2
me.
shot max to end up killing. So whether or not you're going for those gold equivalent camos, platinum or polyatomic and Orion equivalent camos, or you're just trying to get through ranking up all your weapons in the fastest time possible, hardcore is going to be a great way to do that as well. Not to mention if they end up having a Rust 24/7 playlist on day 1, maybe see that be the grinder's delight at that point.
Yeah, it would be, but who knows if they'll make it hardcore.
War. This is a mode from World War II by Sledgehammer.
It was a fun mode. I don't know if I played all the time, but it's a good, hey, I'm sick of what I'm doing, let me switch it up type of mode.
But you don't get pushed back entirely in terms of if you're the
didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was kind of interesting. It's fun to play every once in a while. I'm okay with that coming back.
So I want to say there were at most 3 segments or checkpoints per map that you had to escort.
If it never came back, I wouldn't be bothered.
Tank, and then once you reach that checkpoint, your enemies spawned for
more game modes, the better, right?
All-out assault at the very end, where enemies were spawning
this guy's
directly
frying
in front of you, trying to stop that final push. But
these guys, no one's paying attention.
Of just having fun with it. If I remember correctly,
sick. You just shoot everybody in the back.
Deaths, I don't think tracked the exact same, so you could end up playing that objective and not have to worry about being blown up 20 times and being like, that just destroyed my stats, if you cared about that at all. Personally, I didn't too much, but I think that's how it was, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, that'll be there at launch as well. An additional larger ticket item that isn't a game mode oriented thing, that isn't a sort of gameplay oriented thing, but also is your double XP tokens will be
huge.
there at launch.
I have so much, not as much as this dude. This dude's got a fuck ton.
Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, that those double XP
He's
tokens,
got
whether
so
it be your
many.
operator weapon XP tokens, your weapon XP tokens, or your battle pass tokens come season 1. Although the battle pass is still going to be active and tracking your progress even as you play Modern Warfare 3 in Modern Warfare 2. So you might still be able to actually use those to
I'm sure,
help
I'll
you
grind
out
the
as well
shit out
if you
of
have
this game.
those on offer. But if you haven't used any of your double XP tokens, don't go use them now, because they'll be way more beneficial to helping you rank up, say, again, either your operator, your weapons,
not that I'd play
whatever
Modern
the
Warfare
case,
2, I'm sick of the game.
Modern Warfare 3. Those will be there at launch, so you can use those absolutely.
Yes.
And finally, the last things we'll talk about are some features for PC players that were actually debuted as of today. In today's campaign early access sort of PC dev blog, we learned about like the minimum requirements.
I may or may not play campaign. I don't want to say yes because I don't want to get roped into having to do it, because I said I was going to do it. I never play the campaign. I played it in COD 4 way back when, but I haven't really played it since. You do get some operators, I think a blueprint, and there's probably some other like calling cards or some shit that I can unlock. So maybe just for like content's sake I might do it. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but may or may not. I'm not saying yes or no.
Requirements, recommended requirements, and some other stuff for when the game launches on PC, because that is a global one singular time that the game launches on PC versus it's local on consoles, so Xbox and PlayStation. It's just midnight your local time that'll launch. But we learned about a bunch of stuff for PC, including NVIDIA DLSS 3 being one of the main features here coming at launch. That being AI-powered boosting technology that delivers all the standard DLSS bonuses, but with the newest iteration here, DLSS 3, this year adds even more frame generation for 40 series cards to create additional frames and make it a much smoother experience without having to really sacrifice too much performance. So DLSS has been a massive help in games, I think, and it's one of the things I usually go and turn on immediately when playing on PC. So very excited to be able to experience this in Modern Warfare 3 as well, the newest iteration of that. And then finally, NVIDIA Reflex, where that reduces your system latency, making gameplay smooth and more responsive, minimizing client-side delay that would happen in input, making
somebody lays it out for me, I will.
Better competitive edge in that regard when it comes to response.
I'm not sure competitive edge is helping me too much.
Very big features that I'm very much so looking forward to.
I'm still the one playing the game
here at this, but those were debuted as of today. But those are your features here that at launch will be there.
All right, that's interesting. Some of them are good. Like I said, I like the detailed for the attachments, because that's huge. You need to know that. Concrete numbers are king. We need to know that. The hardcore mode, sweet. The PC things I might dabble in. What else was there that he said? Damn, I don't even really remember. But I am excited too that the zombies is coming out for DMZ. So there's going to be tons and tons and tons of stuff to grind. So I'm looking forward to all that. But yeah, I'm excited. I may or may not play the campaign. Like I said, I don't want to say yes or no yet because I'm not sure. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to leave Espresso's channel in the description below. Go check him out. He is by far my favorite COD creator right now. He does just crazy, well-made, put-together videos, super informative. If you guys need to know anything that's being released or anything of that nature, go give him a follow. He'll his videos will definitely be able to spell everything out for you. So yeah, super excited for Modern Warfare 3. Once again, cautiously optimistic, but I feel good this year. I say that every year, but I truly mean it this year. I truly mean it. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's all for me. I'm out. Peace.